No mai haere mai kei te LBP-TV. Today we have a special edition of LBP-TV. We will be taking the next step in our Tangaroa Taniwha journey to have Waiheke Moana included in the Kura Marine Reserve.
A marine reserve is a place where no fishing or other harmful things can be done to that particular bit of land or water. The benefits of a marine reserve are that the animals inside it are protected from fishing, that the environment can recover to its natural state, and that people like us can experience what it is like to have an ocean full of sea life. We think that everyone would benefit by having Waiheke Beach included in the Kura Marine Reserve because we would see more sea life when we go there with our families,
And protect the beach for future generations.
set an excellent example of kaitiakitanga for the world to follow.
The snorkeling part of our waterways program would be better because there would be more sea life to study.
It would acknowledge the respect that our tupuna had for the sea and its environment.
It will provide an opportunity for our local schools to work together on a science-based goal. As Tangaroa Taniwha, we are lucky to host Miss Marja Lubeck, a local Member of Parliament from the Labour Party. Marja will be answering our questions on how she can help us with our already sponsored petition to have Waiheke Beach included in the Kura Marine Reserve. No mai haere mai kei te LBP-TV. Thank you for joining us today. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what is your job?
Tēnā koutou katoa everyone, and thank you very much for the introduction. It's lovely being here. So as you have introduced me, I'm the newest, one of the newest members of Parliament for the Labour Party. So I just started my new job in September 2017, so that's 18 months ago. I came in with Jacinda Ardern's team, so with our Prime Minister, and I'm in government, and completely new job for me. Lots to learn, but I get to do really cool stuff like what I'm doing today, so yeah, it's really exciting.
What is the government's general strategy for sustainable fishing and pollution control?
So I guess when we're talking about pollution, we all know, of course, that we need to keep the pollution. We need to stop it coming into our rivers and into our lakes because that really is no good. So we're looking at restoring and improving our fresh water, and that piece of work is led by our minister, Environment Minister, David Parker. He's done quite a few things already. As an example, we're looking at environmentally friendly practices on farms to make sure that that no pollution goes into our rivers. We're also looking at an oversight unit. So basically, that is to make sure that everyone, including regional councils, are compliant when it comes to everyday management of fresh water and what we're doing in that space. And I'm going to look at my notes as well. Basically, we're also looking at introducing new standards and bottom lines on our what they call the national policy statement on fresh water. So that is looking at the bigger picture of fresh water, and we don't believe that the balance was the right balance, what we've seen so far. We believe that you need to have a strong economy, but also a clean environment. You need to have both. You can't have economic prosperity by basically having your environment eroded. So we think that's really important that we have a fine balance. You also asked me about sustainable fishing. It's probably easier to talk about what non or unsustainable fishing is when you use nets that kill everything in its path, and that's not what we want. So we actually have a piece of work where we look at profitability and sustainability being balanced. Like when I said strong government and a clean environment, we also believe that profitability and sustainability can go hand in hand. And our minister has put a very ambitious piece of work forward to Fisheries New Zealand, and they're looking at a lot of things. People have heard, for example, about the cameras on board of vessels. No decisions have been made about that yet, but that's something we're looking at. We're also looking at basically reforming and improving the fisheries management system. So basically that means that you look at how commercial fishing is reported and managed, so that we have a better idea on both those topics.
When was the last time a Labour government put a new marine reserve in?
So last time Labour was in government was before 2008, and in that period we created 19 new marine reserves.
Who is the minister in charge of the environment?
So we have our Honourable David Parker, he is the Minister of Environment, but we also have two associate ministers, so there's Nanaya Mahuta and Eugenie Sage, and she is from the Green Party.
Have you heard of our petition and how did you hear about it?
So I heard about your petition because it was on the Facebook, so I looked at, when I got the invitation, I looked at your blog and I typed in the name of your petition so I could learn about it, and I saw it on Facebook when Erica posted it.
Do you think that our petition is a reasonable request, and why?
Yeah, look, I think petitions are really fantastic because petitions are your way of telling us in Parliament on what is important for you. So you need to give us the messages and let us know what is important to you. And I guess because we are a government that cares about the marine life, it's really important that you have a petition that shows us, that you believe that there are better ways of doing things.
Do we have your support for Waiheke Beach to be included in the Kuruma Marine Reserve, and will you sign our petition?
Yeah, so I think when you're looking at the importance of petitions in general, it's great that you've started it. What happens with the petition once it's presented, it goes to a select committee, and so the select committee is made up of different parties, from the opposition as well as the government, and they all sit together and talk together about how best to work with the material. Some really good people on there, and I'm super excited for it to go there and learn more about the details of it.
Will you support Erica Stanford in fast-tracking our petition to Parliament after it closes on the 5th of July?
Yeah, so I guess, like I said, it goes to a select committee, and then when it goes to the select committee and they will look at all the evidence, they will perhaps ask for submissions from people to come in and talk about this petition, and they will basically give a recommendation to us in Parliament as to what they believe needs to be done with this petition. And I think there are really good ways of promoting that. For example, when you bring a petition to Parliament, it can be done by electronic means, just submitting it, but you can also take it to us and give it to us on the steps of Parliament. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully be there with Erica when she accepts it.
Is there anything else you would like to share with us about how to approach our kaupapa?
I just think that the mahi are doing on this issue and kaitiakitanga that you're showing has been really inspiring, and I think it's awesome to see you guys, doing all that work on it. And I'm sort of hoping that I've asked newspapers maybe if they're interested in the story and sent them some photographs and see if they may want to publish your story on what you've done and the whole process of how you're dealing with your petition. It's really good.
Kia ora for helping Tangaroa Taniwha kaupapa to have Waiheke Beach included in the Kuruma Marine Reserve. We need as many political chants as possible to support us, and we are so pleased to have you on our side as part of our people. Thank you for joining us. Mā te wā.
Mā te wā.